Hello students, today we are going to start with the next practical, that is practical number 3. Write a C++ program for deciding the name of the subject using the switch case construct. So next program is for displaying the name of the different types of subject by using the switch statement. Now what is the use of switch statement? Switch statement means in this you will write an expression according to the numbers, range of the numbers which you are going to provide for the different types of cases, that particular statement will execute. That is, there will be number of different types of cases and the number of different types of cases, and according to that case, that particular loop is executing. Okay, if the cases are whichever the number you have assigned, that range, that case is not in that range, then at that time the default statement will execute for everything. So here you have to do a program on switch case construct. So here again in this program you will include the header file. First header file is iostream.h and second is conio.h. So here you will have to include the two header files. One is for input output and second is for the console files. Okay, here again as I have explained previously, hash stands for preprocessor. Include stands for, it includes the different types of files which are mentioned in your header file. So here in your header file there are different input output statements, and in this header file there are the different console file statements. After that is your void main. Here main means your program execution every time starts from the main function. So here is the main function. See, in the main function the first statement we have used is CLR SCR. Now what is the meaning of CLR SCR? It means that you all are executing the program. For that program, each time when you will go to output, your output screen will be clear. To clear your output screen, the function used is CLR SCR, which is included under your conio.h header file. So this is the function included under your header file conio.h. After that, there is a declaration of the subject. Okay, so I have declared here, or I have initialized the value as declaration is done as int subject. That is, int is the data type, integer data type I have used for the subject. After that is the cout statement, that is the output statement. I have printed the output statement has enter number in the range of 1 to 7 to get the corresponding subject. So what is the output statement which we are going to display is that we want to enter a number. That number should be in the range of 1 to 7, and whatever the range you all have given, so according to the number which you will select, the specific number subject will be displayed to you all corresponding to that number. Okay, and here I have given as an input statement C in subject. So here you have given the range of the subjects 1 to 7, and here you will take the value of that subject. Okay. So now whenever you are writing a switch case program, you all are using an expression called as switch. Okay, this is the keyword switch and expression is written in the round bracket. So here we have written switch subjects. So there are different types of cases used in it. The first case is case 1, cout computer science. Okay, so remember that when you are writing the switch statements, you all are writing the different types of statements. Okay, so after each statement you will have to use the break. Okay, break and continue are the two statements which are used. So break is a statement that your case will stop over there and the new case will be executed after the break. So the first is for the case 1. Case 1 we have assigned computer science, and then we have taken the break statement. Okay, after that case 2, the output statement will be information technology. That is, if you press 2, then what will be displayed? Information technology. After that again break. Next is case 3 for chemistry. After the completion of chemistry is that, then that will be break. Next case is for physics. Next is for biology, next is for environmental science, and next is for English. So there are 7 different cases written for 7 different subjects as case 1, case 2, case 3 and so on. So students, if you enter the numbers from 1 to 7 in the range of 1 to 7, then specific subject which is related to specific number will be displayed. That is, if you press for example 4, then at that time the subject which will be displayed on your monitor or on your screen will be physics. If you suppose it happens that if you give the number in out of range, that is after 7 you will give any number, that is 10, 12, 15, 8, then at that time your default statement will execute, and the default case is not a valid subject. Okay, so this will be the statement which will be executed when you will assign the numbers which will be out of your range. Okay, you all have decided the range from 1 to 7, and if you all are giving some other number out of the range, then in that case not a valid subject will be displayed. Okay, so in this way you will have to write a program, and then last your program will stop with the getch. So getch is used as an to show the output on your output screen. So here your main function closes. Okay, so here is the output. See student, output here they will ask you enter the number in the range of 1 to 7 to get the corresponding subject. I have entered here 2. So the subject which is at the case second will be executed, that is information technology. Okay, so if you give any number, if you give 6, then environmental study will be displayed. Whatever the keys you have written for the specific number, that will get executed when you write here the number of that range. Okay, and if you give the number or enter a number which is out of this range, at that time you will get a message as not a valid subject. Understood? So this is how you will have to write the program and execute the program for switch case statement. Now next you will have a program for finding the area of circle. So next program is there for student. You will have to write a C++ program to find the area for the circle. So now remember, here you all are using a function. Okay, so here you all are declaring the function as double area double. Here area is a function and double is a data type which is used. Okay, that is every time defined before your header files. Okay, every time when you are declaring a function, function declaration is that is done before your header file, and function definition is written inside your header file. See here, the function definition is written over here and the function declaration is done over here. Okay, after that your header files are included. First header file is for iostream.h, that is input output header file is included, and your console files, that is clr, scr and getch files are included by conio.h. And as you all know that your program starts from the main function. So here is void main. Void is again the data type and main is your function. See function, it is shown by opening and closing round bracket. Okay, so now here you all are writing program for area of circle. So now you all know students, to find the area of circle, what is required? Radius is required. Okay, else anything is required? No, we need to take the radius from the user. So the first statement will be to enter the radius. So see, after declaration of the variables, what we will have to do, we will have to input the statement that you want to enter the radius. So here in the main function, first statement is double r comma a. What is the meaning of r comma a? It means you are declaring a variable in the form of double, that is point value is accepted, and a stands for the area, whatever the area will be coming, that will be stored in the a variable. Okay, then cout enter the radius. This is the output statement which is displayed, that is enter the radius. Then that output statement is taken by c in r. C in r means you are accepting that radius, okay, by r. After that you all have called here the function area. See, a is equal to area r. When a is equal to area r, this statement is there, then the control goes from this statement to this function area. Okay, and this loop will get executed. So after reaching here, after entering the area radius, what will happen? The area function will get called. Once the function is called, you all will go in the area function part. So see this student, this is the part which will be executing. Okay, what is given here? Function declaration is done over here. Double area double. The definition is written as double area double r. R means radius. As you all are using radius for calculating the area, so you all are defining here r. Okay. Now here which variable we are using for storing, that is a. So we have declared double a. Okay, double is the data type. Okay. So now we have written here the formula. You must be knowing the formula for finding area of circle. What is the formula for finding area of the circle? The formula is pi into radius into radius. Pi, value of pi is either 22/7 or 3.14. So we have taken the value of pi as 3.14 into radius into radius. So this is what the formula for calculating the area of circle. After calculating the area, whatever the answer is, that answer is stored in area variable a. Okay, and here written a is given. Written a means where the a is there in the program, that control will go near that, and then the output statement, this will be printed that area of circle is so and so. In this way, this is a program to find area of circle using the function method. Understood how to find the area? So student, you all can write this program in simple manner and also by using function, but you will have to perform it by using function. So remember, function declaration is done before the header files including, and after header file including, you all are writing the definition. In function definition, you all are writing the formula which is used for calculating the area, and then that formula is written back over here and it is displayed. So students, see here the output will be enter the radius. If we have entered the radius 3, then the area of circle after calculating will display as 28.26. This will be the output which will be generated. Okay, understood? Now the next program is write a C++ program that passes array to print a 2D array. Now in this program, you will have to write a program which will pass the array, and you will have to print the two-dimensional array. Okay, if you want to print the two-dimensional array, for that this is the code of the program. Okay, so we will start with the code. You all are familiar with the matrix. So here we are going to print a matrix of 3 by 3. So to display the matrix, we will need to use array. So now we will declare a array. For that, first we will include the header files. See here again, we have included the two header files, iostream.h and conio.h. After that, your main function will start. So your main function starts over here. Here you have declared an array. As I want a matrix of order 3 by 3, I have declared an array of order 3 by 3. This statement is used for declaring of array. Int is the data type, add is the name of the array, and these are the two values, okay, for row and columns. Okay, so this is a 3 by 3 matrix. After that, in the matrix, you know matrix is made up of rows and columns. So next statement is int row comma col. That is row and column is defined or declared by using this statement. Declaration of row and column is done. Now next, the output statement is for cout, enter the elements of matrix. Okay, now next is what? Enter the elements of matrix. For that, we are going to use the for loop. Now what is the use of for loop? For loop means the values which are entered in the particular format in the particular matrix will be of this order. The for loop contains of different types of expression. First is the initialization, then it will be the condition, and then can be increment or decrement depending upon the condition given. Okay, sorry. Here for loop, for row is equal to 0, row less than 3, row plus plus. Now here what is the meaning of this line? It means that see here we have defined an array of 3 by 3, that is we want 3 rows and 3 columns. So my row value should not exceed 3. It should not be more than 3. So for that I have used the condition in my for loop as row is strictly less than 3 and row is starting the value from 0, that is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, strictly less means it will not take the 3 values. So the value which will be taken by a row will be 0, 1 and 2. Then second is condition is less than 3 and row plus plus. That is first time 0 is entered. Then the condition is checked. Is 0 less than 3? Yes, true. Then your element will be entered. Then row plus plus. Then 0 will be incremented by 1. Then it will be 1. 1 less than 3, it will check. Again it will print. Again it will check the condition that 1 plus plus, that is 2. Then 2 is less than 3. Yes, then it will print. 3 is less than 3. No, condition is false. Then it will jump to the next. And then the for loop for column will be executed. And here your array will be inputted. So in this way your array input will be done by using the for loop. Understood how to use the for loop? Next, now whatever the elements you all have taken, entered elements, now that elements will look how in the matrix form is displayed over here. So now see out the elements in the matrix are, you have entered the elements by the input statement, they have taken the array of your rows and columns. Now they will make that rows and columns in the form of your array, that is in the form of matrix. They will display it to you all. So for displaying it in the matrix form, again the for loop is used. First for loop same for checking the condition, that is it should be from 0, it should be less than 3 and it should be plus plus. Okay, then you all have to print the columns. Okay, that is you want to print the matrix. So for that what you all have to do, for the next for loop in curly bracket you all have to write, that is that for loop will execute till your condition gets false. Okay, that columns condition, till the column condition is false, your for loop will be executed. For call is equal to 0, call is less than 3, call plus plus, see out array row and column. Then your row and column will be printed. After that, till your condition is true, your rows and columns will get printed. Once condition is false, your program will get terminated. So this is how your program is that for the matrix creation. So when students see enter the elements, I have entered the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now here my condition will be checked. Okay, see output will be elements in the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be the output generated. Now how this output is generated? First row should be not less than, should be less than 3. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3 elements. Then next is next element goes on next line, next element goes on next line. In this way, this is the output of the matrix. So here in this you will have to declare an array and you will have to print the matrix by using the array, two-dimensional array. 2D means two-dimensional array. Okay, so this is how you all will create the matrix in the you all will create the matrix using the array. Okay, so now in this way we will stop over here. In the next lecture we will continue with the remaining practicals. Thank you.